month of Nisan, which is the first month according to the biblical calendar. Okay, Parashat HaChodesh, right? This is the Parashat HaChodesh, one of the 4 unique weeks of unique parashot of Shkalim, Para, Zachor, and HaChodesh. And we remember that we have a special commandment. The first commandment, the first mitzvah of the Torah is this. To the extent that the name Torah, that means instruction, is a book of instructions. So the Rashi, the first complete commentator of the whole Bible in Jewish tradition, opens his commentary of the Torah for Genesis 1:1 by presenting a question. Why do we need the book of Genesis? Why do we need the first 11 chapters of the book of Exodus? The Torah should have started with this verse. So according to that question, okay, or the assumption based upon which the question is based, we are reading the first verse of the Torah in its sense of instruction book, okay, for the people of Israel. So let's see these 2 verses. Go ahead, guys. Who's going to read? Nate, do you want to read? Oh, Ulrike, go ahead.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון בארץ מצרים לאמור, החודש הזה לכם ראש חדשים ראשון הוא לכם לחדשי השנה. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, this month shall mark for you the beginning of months. It shall be the first of the month of the year for you.
Right. ויאמר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון בארץ מצרים לאמור. Again, we have one of the most common, maybe the most common Wayyiqtol form, Wayyo'mer. We know that if we have a Wayyo'mer, and again we have lemor at the end, both of them having the same root, aleph, mem, and reish, aleph, mem, and reish, Wayyo'mer being the third person masculine singular, kal Wayyiqtol, I mean, and lemor being the infinitive construct of the same verb, we know that we're going to deal with what's going to follow the root aleph mem reish, guys.
Direct speech.
Yeah, very good, Ulrike. Thank you. It's good to have good students. It's a pleasure. Yeah. So, right. When we see this root aleph mem reish, we know that we're going to have a direct speech. And that direct speech soon follows in the next verse. Okay, so the first verse here is kind of a preface for the second verse. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aaron. We have the God addressing, and who is addressed by God, which is the indirect object. Okay, what would be the direct object? Simply the words that are going to follow. The direct speech is going to be also the direct object of the verb Vayomer. Okay, so the direct object is the direct speech. Someone said something. That something, which is the direct object, is the direct speech as well. And the indirect object would be to whom was it said? In this case, El Moshe ve'el Aharon, using the preposition el to mark the indirect speech of the verb. Are we clear, guys, about this structure? Very, very common. I know you've seen it so many times. I'm just kind of breaking it down so it sits well in our minds, right?
Right.
Very good. So we have the preposition el here twice. Hebrew is not shy of repeating a preposition. In English, note that we have only once. This is very common to Moses and Aaron. Very common for Hebrew to have two, very common for English to have only one. Is it possible to have only one in Hebrew? Yes. Is it possible to have two in English? That's your problem. That's not my problem. Okay, I don't know. It is possible. It's not, it's maybe considered to be poor style, but it's possible, right? Nate, you know, you could, what's your opinion? Could you repeat a preposition in English? Would it be considered a poor style? When would you do it? When would you not do it?
Well, I think it's, you have to look at the context and whether you're helping, your object is to help your reader along, and then that's kind of helps you measure how many repetitions you need. Maybe you would want to repeat prepositions. I mean, it all depends. You just kind of like, you get the sense of the rhythm. It's a little bit like music, whether you're going to go fast or slow. If all your words are all short words or long words, then something is wrong. So you try to mix them together and you say, how can I kind of bring my reader along, even if it's a little thing that you're dealing with, like prepositions. You know, you should still have a sense of measurement and measure. Do it just enough, not too much, not too little. So it's hard to give a rule. But obviously, many beginning writers repeat too much. You know, so that's we can really easily overdo it, but I wouldn't be too worried about repeating.
Right. So I would say the baseline for Hebrew is more to repeat prepositions, and the baseline for English is not to repeat as much. Now, obviously, we can fluctuate. We can play with it according to all of these criteria that you've mentioned, rhythm and the what I want the reader to receive and so forth. But generally speaking, if we can generalize, if not, you know, we're not experts. Okay, the ability of an expert is to see kind of a lots of examples and kind of generalize and say, generally speaking, Hebrew tends to use more prepositions or repeat prepositions more than English. But thank you. I love the way you look at language. It's similar to how I see it as a tool to convey something and to think about how it is received as well. So we have an indirect object followed by a preposition. A preposition here, I mean an adverb using a preposition and a substantive, as we said before. Be'eretz Mitzrayim, as we had with Le'enei Chol Yisrael, or Al Mishkan Adonai, or Al Mishkan. So it's a combination of a preposition here, the bet preposition, and Eretz Mitzrayim, the land of Egypt, again a construct chain. Lemor hachodesh hazeh lachem rosh chodoshim. The first commandment of the Torah, and already the grammatical problems jump out already with the first commandment of Torah. There is no command here, guys. Where do you see a command? Where do you see an imperative? Where do you see a general command in the form of a Wayyiqtol or something? This is an implied. This is implied. Yes, Maureen, your hand is up.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. In that last word, Hashanah, why the dot in the shin?
Because it is a dagesh following the definite article. The definite article, generally speaking, is hey, patach, and a dagesh in the following consonant. Now, admittedly, the dagesh is not always there. For instance, hachodesh is devoid of a dagesh because we have a chet there, which doesn't want to take that dagesh. But generally speaking, the structure of the definite article is that of a hey, patach, and a dagesh in the following consonant. Now, my previous point was that indeed we don't have an explicit form of a verb that indicates this to be a command, this is implied by the structure. So this is again a verbless sentence. Both of them, okay, are nominal sentences, okay, implying this command. HaChodesh hazeh, we can see again the hey patach and dagesh with the word hazeh, the demonstrative pronoun. This month, HaChodesh hazeh Lachem, again, this preposition with the pronominal suffix, combining the two. Lachem and Lachem, we have it twice. Okay. This month should be for you. Rosh Chodashim, and again, should be, I added in the translation. Okay. It shall, this month shall mark for you. That shall mark is implied. We have HaChodesh Hazeh, which is this month. Lachem, for you. Rosh Chodashim, the head of the months. Okay, the beginning of the months, if you will. But shall mark is implied. Rishon hu lachem. Again, the first, it is for you, okay, to the month or of the months of the year. Lechodshei hashana. But again, the it shall be is suggested by this structure. Okay, so both of these are nominal sentences, and we've talked about that. We've talked about Rosh Chodashim, Chodshei Hashana. Both of these are, you know it, construct states, construct chains. Rosh Chodashim, the head of the months, and Chodshei Hashana, the months of the year. Note that the root of the word Chodesh, which repeats here 3 times, HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodashim, Rishon hu lachem lechodshei hashana. So we have the definite state of the word HaChodesh. We have the plural absolute state of the word Chodashim, and we have the plural construct form of this word Chodshei. And all of these obviously are different forms, different states of the same word, whose root is Chet, Daled, and Shin. What is the meaning of this root?
Good. Month.
Come again, what is the meaning of this root?
Is it just month?
It's the new moon.
Isn't it new? It's the new month, new moon.
Okay,
new
the
month.
meaning of the root has to do with renewal. Okay, and you're right, it has to do with a new moon. So already by the name of the word month in Hebrew, we know it has to do with the renewal of the moon. So we have something that renews, and that renewing of the moon is affecting the calendar. So we have a solar element to the calendar. Okay. By the way, do you know the political party in Israel that is known as the Democratic Front for Peace and Equality is called Hadash by its acronym? Yeah, it's a Jewish Arab communist party. Really, it used to be the PKP, Palästinische Kommunistische Party. It was in Yiddish, the PKP, and then it became to be Maki, Miflaga Kommunistit Israelit, Communist Israeli Communist Party, and today they call themselves Hadash, the Democratic Chazit Demokratit LeShalom Ulshivyon. So Chet for Chazit, front, like all of those PFLP and so forth, those organizations known as the front of, right? So chet is the Hebrew first letter of the word front, chazit. Then the Dalet is for democratic, and Shin stands for shalom and shivyon, peace and equality. Okay, so that's the Hebrew name. They're both Hebrew and Arabic parties. So it's El Jabha, El Demokratia, El Salam, Wal Musawa, the Democratic Front for Peace and Equality. They have Hebrew and Arabic name because it's basically a new version of the Communist Party in Israel. Yeah.
Daniel,
Yeah.
is voting in Israel compulsory?
No.
Okay.
Voting is not compulsory. Moreover, and it is not just not compulsory. In some countries, they do it that if you vote, you get a day off, and if you don't vote, you don't get the day off. In Israel, you get the day off anyway. However, having said it's not compulsory, the voting percentage in Israel in general elections are very high in comparison to Western countries. Among Jews, Arabs don't vote in the same percent. So Jews, which is very high, 70 to 80% of the people, of the eligible voters vote. It's 80 is a very high, but about 70, which is high. Again, it's considered to be high.
How high is Jewish women and Arab women?
Jewish women and Arab women vote. Everybody votes.
What numbers? I mean,
yeah, they vote.
In Australia, it's compulsory to vote.
Come again?
In Australia, it is compulsory to vote.
Oh, wow. So in Israel, it's about 70%. It used to be, again, it really depends. It's around 70%. In general, when in the Jewish people vote, higher percentage. Arabs tend to vote about 50% of the Arabs. High 40s or about 50%, because I would assume many of them say it's not like they don't feel as involved. That's how I would assume. Women vote, sure, in high percent as well. Maybe a little bit less than men, but generally speaking, yeah, and that includes Israelis that are abroad and they cannot vote. So when I say 70%, it includes all of the people that have the right to vote. However, according to Israeli law, if you're abroad, current law, they might change it in the future. If you're abroad, you don't vote. So it is actually a bit higher than 70. This is why between 70 and 80, again, can be in the high 60s, depending. But that's the general number. That's about voting, and that's about Hadash, the Israeli version of the Communist Party. Not exactly my cup of tea.